Hello, dear Libra. Welcome to Jessica's Intuition. Welcome to your me and my consideration. For March 2025, what's here? A little fluff. What does that want to tell us? Maybe pay attention to the little things. Don't be surprised, I was a bit clumsy with the knife today and gave myself a little scratch here. So well, it doesn't hurt. And it actually didn't bleed at all. The skin it has really gotten under my skin, and that's why the skin is a bit open now. And when I lay the cards, it hurts. So nothing to wonder about. It's nothing dramatic. I was just a bit clumsy with the knife, unfortunately. Yes. Exactly. We start with scale for March with my me and my considerations. Since you are the opposite sign of Aries, and next month it will continue like this, and so on and so forth. Just a quick note. Very important here. This reading is always for those who also have a counterpart. Or you watch this reading and maybe at some point a potential counterpart will come to you. Yes. It doesn't have to be that this reading is meant for everyone. This is specifically for those who also have a counterpart. Of course, you can look at your side to see if it fits you, but it doesn't really make sense to watch this reading if you don't have a counterpart. If you're open and want to watch these videos, you're warmly welcome. Nevertheless, as I said, it's for you. And a counterpart, let's put it that way, or your counterpart. There will also be special readings for those who don't have anyone. So specifically love readings for singles and such. Just wait for it. I have a lot in store for you, okay? And always remember that the roles in a reading can be reversed. Time is always relative. And this is always about collective readings. General readings can, of course, mean that not everything will resonate with you. And this reading, yes, and all the important information, all the important links, and also the cards I use can always be found down in the info box. And everything I'm currently offering can be found on my website. That didn't work. Then let's do that again. So, please, the messages for Libra. I always look here for you and here for your counterpart. As I said, see, if the roles are reversed for you or not. I have to set it this way, otherwise there will be a mess here. I was just about to check your current energy. The wheel of fortune right now is like a friend, the wheel of fortune. It actually shows up in almost every reading. It's not about fate events coming now. Fate had changed, fateful opportunities. Yes, you have your fate in your own hands here, and then the Five of Cups came to me. The Five of Cups is always about chance, or rather, change your focus. What disappoints you, you can now leave behind and move in a different direction. There are already 2 cups waiting for you. Look, maybe even for one or the other, the fulfillment of wishes. As I said, you have your fate in your own hands here. You have your happiness in your hands. The energies are there, and as I said, the fate of guessing is showing itself so often at the moment. The energies are there. Grab at your current situation. Let's take a look at your other person. The current situation, or the current energy of your other person, is represented by the Strength card and the Knight of Wands. So it could be that your other person is really gathering all their strength, and energy right now and might come towards you. We also have the Knight of Cups underneath. The Knight of Wands tells me that someone wants to take a chance here. We just had the Five of Cups for you, and I don't know if this person has disappointed you. It could also be that you're thinking of someone else or have another person in mind. But a new person could also show up for you. Always remember to think long term. I have the feeling that someone wants to be brave here. Your other person wants to be brave right now and maybe take a step towards you. I'll leave it at that. We'll see soon, when several cards are laid out, what the situation is. The current energy with your other person is about a new adventure, new opportunities, and new challenges. They might also want to offer a cup here. What are you currently thinking about the situation? You want a love offer, but you're not satisfied with anything less than a clear love offer. So you are ready. I also have the feeling that you're ready to give a new chance here. Look, I see the cup too. But it has to be clear and straightforward. Clearly and distinctly. I see in your thoughts that you are longing for a new beginning in love. I would even say you are wishing for it and envisioning it. Let's take a look at your other person's thoughts. Two of Pentacles. Your other person knows that something has to happen. And let's see what we have underneath the deck. Well, that's a great start. We're starting with the me and my other person spread. And right away, it's like a boom, a real boom spread here. So your other person knows that they really have to set priorities here. Maybe your other person messed up a bit. So I don't see it clearly yet, but I can imagine that maybe something was done wrong, right? That has disappointed you. It doesn't even have to be that your heart was broken, but rather that you were simply disappointed. It could just be a spoken word, you know, that your feelings weren't reciprocated or whatever. It might not be a small thing, but it could be something that your other person isn't even aware of. We always think that the other person knows exactly what's going on with us. If you don't communicate it clearly, your other person can't know. Just remember, they are not in your feelings. Your other person is thinking about setting priorities here. Two of the Church, are we accepting an offer here? Am I doing that? Am I not doing that? Let's see how it goes from here. I'll leave it at that. What are you feeling right now? What are you feeling right now? Two of Wands. You feel rods in your heart, which means rods in your feelings. You feel that you have to make a decision here. Sooner or later, you will have to make a decision here. And we have the Emperor below deck. And the Emperor doesn't want to be controlled. And I have the feeling that you might not want to be controlled by your feelings here. Only major arcana here. What is hiding behind the Emperor? The Six of Pentacles. You don't want to be treated unfairly. So for you, this is also conscious here. And with the Two of Wands in your heart, it tells me again that you know you have to make a decision emotionally. That also tells me that you don't want to get hurt or be disappointed. And if so, you might go in a different direction. The card has fallen. I'm telling you now, it will be hard for you. I don't know, to make this decision. What is your counterpart feeling right now? 9. The Wands, hallelujah. I have to keep fighting. Your counterpart knows that if I don't fight here, I will lose. It could actually be that 9. The Wands also suggests that one feels a bit helpless. That one, yes, that one already feels helpless. That maybe one can no longer fight against the feelings here. It may have been like this for a long time with the person you are talking to. And even if I say cold, it may have been because of old injuries. But you always have to think about it. Everyone had a life before this. I wouldn't have been there for you from day one. And there are always things, and especially such topics, men who don't show it, who don't say it, they push the new rails away and put them in some drawer at the bottom. And the carpet is swept, and finally, when someone new comes along, oh, it could be like it used to be, or like it was back then. Then they prefer to take 3 or 4 steps back rather than 1 step forward. So as I said, Knight of Cups. Your counterpart, Knight of Swords. So your counterpart definitely knows that they still need to heal the past. She definitely needs to process maybe his ways of thinking. We're currently talking about feelings. What it also tells me, that your counterpart might be overthinking and can't allow the feelings in at first. So I'm still working on the idea that they might have to overcome their feelings here. Because there's also fear here, maybe. Also always show a bit of understanding, not all the time, but just a little bit. Let's see what connects you at the moment. That's too many for me, exactly 4. Yes, men, 4 of Swords. In the Page of Swords and the Moon. Let's start from the beginning. The close one. So I have the feeling that it started quite spontaneously with you two. What might still connect you? The spontaneity, that you both are spontaneous. That you are also very laid back. But still, you love your freedom. And that could also be a topic. A relationship or another person always restricts you a bit. You might not be able to act the way you would like anymore. At some point, you might have to justify yourself. And then you keep taking steps back when you're not ready for something like that. Nevertheless, that's not a bad energy, though. I can already see that it's a good time for you, or it was a good time that you might not think about it much. Just as I said, that's how it is. As I said, that's how it is. Yes, that might also be something new here, something fresh. It could be something like that here too. With the 4, the swords is not more on your side than here. It could, of course, be that you've withdrawn a bit because maybe there was a disappointment. But right now, what connects you at the moment, it's also about taking time for yourself. Calm. Retreat. Topic, healing. Processing old things, not bringing the things from old relationships into a new one. There's still a lot of work to do. So make sure to take your own time here. Don't always be stuck together, then it will get boring at some point. And then it becomes too much. That's not going to work. One needs their own space. The Page of Swords, one is careful as well. The Page of Swords is always very cautious. I would actually say not ready to fight, but it could actually be that a delayed message comes in here. You write, and then, I don't know, 2-3 days later, a message comes in. Oh, I totally forgot about you, or something like that. Yes, I would be careful. So with the Pages of Swords, I also have a bit of the theme of patience with both of you. Something definitely needs to be planned here. You protect yourself. As I said, you are careful. Nevertheless, it's also about fairness, that you are there for each other. Communicate clearly. What is the matter now? So the page now in love means the page. The sword also tends to... Maybe the feelings of the other person are a bit indifferent to him. So it could actually be that the person opposite you has disappointed you here. And maybe you don't notice it. Or it's like in that moment it doesn't really matter. And that can also connect you, that maybe you don't put so much value on it at first, just to see how you react. When such things happen and you notice that from the very beginning it's also thoughtless or something like that, then just get out of that. Then don't even take time for that. There are all kinds of people, and it doesn't even mean that it's completely wrong here. I don't want to say that at all. But if you notice that it happens more often, or that you don't see any progress or anything like that, then get out of that. You don't deserve that. Remember that the moon, yes, uncertainties, fears. What connects you at the moment? Uncertainties, fears. But it can also be a very spiritual level with the moon. Maybe you dream of each other. That could also be the case here. I'm just thinking. The moon interpreted in love. So the moon is always a bit of the negative side. Let's put it this way. That's kind of the negative side of the sun. Even though I really love the moon card, it's just because I love the moon. But it can actually be a theme of dreams, but also illusions. If you're imagining something here, it is actually the right thing. Even subconsciously, things can happen to you. It could also be a bit of deception. I've already said uncertainties. I have a feeling of that here too. You know, what I also feel is that the moon always represents the end of a difficult phase. This is actually still something that can be related to the past. And that maybe it doesn't apply to you, but it doesn't matter whether it does or not. But I feel that this here influences the behavior and emotions of the person opposite you. I have a feeling here. Or maybe it's not like that. Or is it... How do you say it's not what it seems? Huh? Because this is also a night ticket. Let's say, I don't know. You go out at night and Rachel, who's on the bus, thinks, oh my God, what's coming there? Then there's a little rabbit. During the day, you wouldn't be afraid at all if it rustled something in the wind, a bird or something. But at night, you're much more afraid. And it may actually be that something appears different or looks different than it actually is. But maybe it's also subconscious from the person opposite you. Not that you, as I said, nevertheless, I still don't see it negatively. That's a bit difficult. I feel that since the beginning phase, 5 of Pentacles, there's still lack to be seen. 5 of Pentacles, lack in love. Let's say I have the feeling that overall both of you are suffering. Yes. What I can advise you here is to communicate clearly, not directly about feelings, like, hey, I have feelings for you. No, communicate clearly. Hey, I didn't think that was okay. Or just say, I didn't feel comfortable last time. So not you hurt me, but you disappointed me. So not with the person you're going with, but rather yourself as pushing forward. Yourself, you're saying something like, hey, I felt uncomfortable recently, or I don't know how you want to communicate that. I've been feeling uncomfortable or a little disappointed lately. No, you disappointed me. So try to phrase it differently. Because in situations like this, you can ruin a lot at the beginning. And I feel like both of you are suffering. We have 2 people here. You both are suffering. We already have 5 of the cups here. You've already reached half of it with you. The stability here is a bit... There can be more to it. But as I said, that's work. You both have to be ready to work on it. Otherwise, there's nothing here. Okay, my dear. I will now do this for you. In the continuation, lay down another row with the cards. Then let's see what will come your way. We'll also draw an outcome. What will the situation lead to? Then a piece of advice for you from the cards. What does the tarot say about these people? I'm drawing a close message of love for you. And afterwards, I'll also draw a love message down in the info box and also in the top comment. I look forward to welcoming you there, and I wish everyone else a happy birthday. Wishing you a wonderful time, all the best for you, and see you at the next reading.